In 2025, AI is growing so quickly. I can inevitably see that AI is going to replace 99% of digital marketing agencies and SMMA. But there's one thing that we can do as business owners to prevent ourselves from the inevitable, that AI is going to replace everything that we foresee. And in this video, I want to go over the step-by-step process on how we can set up the preventive measures and how and what we can learn as business owners to adapt with AI so that we don't get replaced like the other 99%. So let's talk about a couple things. The development of AI. I have a couple friends who work at Y Combinator startups with, money from investors, and these are like top tier engineers. And they told me, well, man, to be honest, within the next couple of years, software engineers are going to be completely useless. It's all going to be done through prompt engineering. And on their daily basis, they're just doing prompt engineering, right? And they're reviewing the code to make sure that it works. But they feel like that over time, we're going to be able to kind of like how you say Siri to your phone, what's the weather? You're going to be able to say, hey, Siri, can you build me an app? And you give all the measures, and they're going to be able to build you an app from there, right? From voice to app. That's going to be inevitably the future within the next year. And so the development of AI is happening so quickly. You can see that with tools like Cursor, Lovable, Replit, and OpenAI Agent Kit. Right? Even now, OpenAI, within the past week, they had their dev day and their release an Agent Kit that allows you to create automations without even knowing how to use Make, N8N, or all those things. These are already no-code tools, but they've taken a step beyond to where you can literally prompt and create these tools. I have friends that are using Cursor, and I'm learning Cursor to be able to prompt N8N to create automations without ever even knowing how to use N8N, right? Obviously, you need to have some understanding, but more and more, even no-code tools are being automated. Can you imagine that? Right? And also the development LLMs, right? These models are becoming more and more advanced the more as we get, and software will replace online marketing. You see that already, right? If you run campaigns on Meta and Google Ads to get leads, you can see that more and more. There was the Andromeda update recently, and that it's so much easier for anyone to create their own ad, right? And now there's more and more AI suggestions that they have, and what they're optimizing is for the creative to learn themselves, right? Within Meta and Google Ads, they've gotten rid of things like smart campaigns. They've gotten rid, they steer people towards performance mech and demand-based ads instead of optimizing for harder things like search ads. And on Meta, you don't even need an ad creative. You can prompt Meta within Meta ads and create an ad creative right then and there. You don't even need to go to ChatGPT. You don't need to go to Canva, right? So more and more within these platforms for advertising, it's going to be more friendly to the beginner on running ads. Obviously, an agency has data, right? So if you're a person who says, I'm going to help you get leads, people are going to choose you because you have data. You know what is good relative to the others, right? And even tools like the Webflow and all these website and SEO tools, they're available as DIY softwares, right? How many softwares do you see now where you can literally tell them the type of website that you need, and within 5 minutes, the AI will create a prototype for you, right? And then you just change a couple of things, change a couple colors, icons, paste in your logos. It's crazy nowadays. And so even a space like a website is turning extremely saturated to where the bar is becoming so low, and a service that previously required a higher barrier of entry is now so low that anyone can just go in and create a website. Right. But how do we combat this, right? Because inevitably Meta and Google, they want to make money. They want to cut out to the middleman as much as possible, right? These platforms like Webflow, Wix, all these companies, even the SEO companies, they want to cut out the middleman as much as possible so they can make more money, right? And so what's going to happen is we need to go from an agency offering a service to be a leads vendor, right? We're an AI lead generation business, right? So why do business owners work with you rather than agents? What's the difference between one agency from another? At the end of the day, we all do very similar things, but beyond just trusting me as a business owner and trusting our process is some companies that are bigger and have been around longer. Why do companies usually trust companies that are been around for longer and have more employees? Well, because they have more data, right? Inevitably, if you work with more clients, you've been around for longer, you have more data. So relative, I know what good numbers look like, right? Like, how do I know that $50 a lead is good, right? Because I have so much data, I know what is good and what is bad, right? And so if you're a business owner and you don't have data, right, you don't know what results are good relative to the others, it basically means you haven't tested and you haven't worked with enough clients to have the data to know the difference between good from bad, right? And so you need to have data, right? Because data cannot be acquired by AI for now, right? You need to test things to know. You still have to use AI to get data, right? AI can't get data for you, right? Now, what can you do, right? You can learn these no-code softwares and build an AI SaaS, right? Or you can sell calls, leads, and appointments. Because at the end of the day, when people are working with an agency, they want the end results. They want leads. They want calls, they want appointments for their business, right? And they don't really care where it comes from. They just care that they get it, right? So what you can do is use these no-code tools, be able to build a dashboard for business to see their leads, and build a software that say, hey, it's a plug and play process. Hey, your business is where? Okay. How many leads do you want per week? Boom, my process will set these things up for you. These are the parameters for your business. You're gonna get X amount of leads per week. Right, if you build out an automated process that's plug and play, you have an asset that sells a certain type of business, certain type of leads. They come in wanting the leads, they get the leads, and they just pay you for the leads, and they can see everything without you going to their business, building out their ad campaigns and everything. You have everything already set up. That is the future of AI lead generation. And that's why 99% of agencies that rely on working on their services, on a service-based business, they're going to become commoditized, and AI is going to totally replace them. And if you want to work with us and scale your AI agency to $10,000 per month or more in the next 90 days and learn how to not get replaced by AI within the next couple of years, feel free to click the link below, book a call with us, and see